What's up, guys? Welcome back to another MFF episode. This week I'm going to be doing some fly fishing for largemouth. I'm going to be showing you my setup and some of the flies I was using and some tactics too. So hope you guys enjoy the video. We'll get right into it. That's a fish. Yep, fish on. Weird eat. I think it's probably a bass. Ooh, nice Larry. Not the first of the year, but probably the first nice one of the year. Oh my god. Of course, this got all messed up. I like to get fish on reels personally. I don't know if I'm gonna get them on the reel though. Oh, worried about getting on the reel. Should be worried about getting the net. Oh, there he goes. Alright, let me get the net here. Should be looking for them out. Oh! Ah! Like diving. Oh, solo net job. Oh, that's a tanker for the fly. Well, actually not huge. Probably like a 3.5 pounder. Oh, let's go. That's awesome still though. Look at that. Woo! That boy. Nice 4-pound largie on the fly. You can see that jig fly in his mouth, right in the corner. It was an awesome fight. 19-incher. I know my scale, but with being so thick, being a 19-incher, I'm assuming it's a 4-pounder. So look at that. Big belly on her. Pre-spawn fish up here in northern Minnesota. Gotta love it. Definitely was nice to have the 8 weight on this fish. I know some guys use lighter for bass, but when you're catching largies like this, it's nice to have the 8 for that backbone. I was using a sinking line, just popping this jig fly just like I would a jigging crowd, trying to imitate a crayfish here. So I've been trying to do a little more warm water fly fishing this year, and this is my PB largie on the fly. I'm super excited, guys. We're gonna go for a nice release on her. One more look at it. How's that fly? Got it on. Nice jigged.
Are you POV recording?
Yeah. Oh, fish. Whoa, tank. Be quiet, says. Be quiet, says. Tank. Guys, nice bass. Whoa. On Suds and Bugs fly. Let's see if we can land him. He just did a big jump on the predator. Sinking line on off my favorite spot. Woo! Grab my net here. Self-netting in this boat's a little hard. Oh, let's see if we can get him in. Oh, don't want to put that in there.
Fish on. Always spit it.
Here we go. Bring this guy in. Oh. There we go. Not as big as I thought, but still a nice 2-pounder on the fly. Let's go. Nice bass here off the island on that fly I was just talking about. I knew I was gonna get some bass on tonight. About 2.5 pounder, maybe a 3, you know, in that range, but just awesome fight. Did a full jump. I got on GoPro. You can see right there. Awesome double hook pattern. Really hooks those bass well. I'm gonna take it out here. Got both the hooks in the bottom of the mouth. I'm using the olive variation on this leg. I got stained water, so we'll go for a little release on this guy. Ooh, just love it. There we go. So shout out to Suds and Bugs. I'll put his Instagram below. He makes some really cool ties, and one day he was fishing and had a nice streamer in a bass, and I just was curious. I thought it looked good for trout, looking for everything, and I asked him about it, and it was the Thrasher fly, which I'll show here, and he actually ended up sending me a couple, which I used to catch these bass in this video, and I love it. It's actually one of my new favorite flies now after using it. I really can't wait to get down and use it for trout too coming fall time. I think it's gonna be a great trout fly. I just like how it swims. It's got a nice tail side to side action on that tail joint. And I've had really, really good hookups with bass, which I've struggled with other flies with a single hook. So I kind of like having that double hook. So thanks for him for sending me a couple free flies to try out. And check him out on Instagram. He does some really, really good ties. And yeah. Nice. I was waiting for the bite to get better, but it got good earlier than I thought it would. Slide this back a little. Nice 2.5, 3 pounder on that streamer right in the corner of the mouth. Look at that. He actually came to the surface right by the boat and hit it. There's such a fun fight even on an 8 weight. I honestly recommend an 8 for Largies. Like a 6 you can do, but look at that. Especially when you get nice size ones. Popped it out here. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Let me brighten it up again. There she goes. For setup, I like to run just a kind of 4 or 5 foot section with a little bit thicker butt end and then 20-pound fluoro. Earlier I was using 12-pound fluoro when I was a little clearer earlier in the year, but on these stand weedy lakes, I like having that 20-pound be able to manhandle fish in, and that's what I've been using as my setup. When fishing subsurface Largies, it's pretty simple. I like to find just some steep drops. It doesn't necessarily have to be weeds, it can be rock, and fishing a sink tip or a sink line with honestly a streamer of your choice. Although that Thrasher and those jig flies I really like, because as doing a little bit of conventional fishing, I'm really confident in a jig and craw pattern. I think bass, even if they don't predate heavily on crawfish in the lake, they do love that action. So that's one thing I like. And then that Thrasher is a great bait fish pattern. Something in that size is just perfect option for Largies, and I find it does really, really well throughout the whole summer. Obviously it's subsurface. You can use a floating line, but really I like to fish these deeper weed lines even early in the middle of the summer. When I was hopping that craw earlier in it, I was still using my sink line because I wanted to have that action of it staying on the bottom. So I use like a lighter full sink, like at 4 inch, 3 inch per second. I can't remember exactly, but I would say a sink tip's probably more ideal because it will swing down, but your whole belly isn't down there. And especially on weedy lakes, it'll stay above the weed line, but still get down. So if you guys are looking to do some subsurface bass fishing, I definitely would recommend getting an 8 weight setup with a sink tip. It's probably the ideal way to target Largies. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate the support. Remember to subscribe for weekly videos. Next week I got bass on top water, and I have a really big fish coming in that, so I'm super excited to show you guys that. Remember to drop a comment and let me know if you got any questions, concerns, or video ideas. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're catching fish this summer, and hope everything's going well, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video again. So tight lines, everybody, and I'll see you next week.